Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. This is the scene for this painting. It's another lovely scene. You can see I wanted to show you the pencil drawing first, because I do think this is quite important in the painting process. And as you can see, this is the reference I'll be using for this painting. So I know last video I had a bit of a nightmare with the masking tape. This is the masking tape. It's just a wide tape, and so it seems to be okay now. I've used it once, I guess, getting the first piece off. I don't know, but so no problems there. Hopefully, fingers crossed, things go to plan. I'm not going to be doing I'm not going to be copying the photo exactly, but I'm just using it as a guide, getting things as close to the reference as I can. But I'm going to not fuss too much with details and getting everything I can. So hopefully I want to show you the sort of whole process from start to finish. So if you do bear with me, there's quite a lot of different sort of techniques and different sort of tricks I can show while I paint, and hopefully I get this do this painting justice. So it's another scene from New Mills in Derbyshire, and it's a photo that I took while we were there a number of weeks ago. You can see I've already done a couple, one or two at least, paintings from New Mills. So it's quite a nice place that we like to go to. And this is just the sort of village high street. There's a few shops on the left hand side, and there's nice sunlight in this scene, which I find quite important in watercolor. It gives that nice sort of striking look to the picture if you've got these strong contrasting light and darks. So the left hand side, the buildings that I'm doing here now, they're quite dark, so the sun's coming from the left, so you got all these nice shadows and the light being cast to the right. There's a nice, quite a large shadow in the bottom corner going across the paper, as you can see, and it just cuts through the two figures that I've included. Again, not copying exactly the reference. I've changed those figures up slightly, but I have included those two in the scene. There's another figure, and that's on the right hand side, sort of coming into the scene, sort of crossing the road or something. So I'm not going to worry about those figures just yet. I just want to block in the majority of shapes and colours and tones first. I know for me, figures are not the best when I paint them, so hopefully I get that right. And I'm going to show you a new approach, or something. I think if you do figures quite loose, try and get like legs with one stroke, then one brush stroke, then that's probably the best way to do it. But we'll tackle that in a short while. So I'm just going in, adding the shadows to the buildings. You can see left a few window. Again, I'm not going for exact, I'm not copying it exactly, just leaving a few window rectangles here and there. And I will be using some of my white gouache later on, just to get the window frames are white, so I'll be getting those in a bit later on. So I'm going to keep there's a few street furniture. There's a speed sign with a 30 it's like a 30 zone sign. There's a few lampposts and bollards and a bit of a railing near the shops. So I will be including these because I do think they do help to make a nice scene. You can see painting around the street sign there. And yeah, I'm going to include pretty much everything that's on the photograph, just not going to be exact. So yeah, we'll just see how we get on. And there's a nice not post box. There's a nice telephone box as well. It's something that we don't often see now, the red telephone box. So I'm going to include that as well. You can see just sort of near enough in the middle of the scene. Maybe I should include the materials I'm using. If you know by now, I do like to use Bockingford cold press, and that's what I'm using today. Bockingford cold press, £140, it's size 11 by 15, and I'm using my Winsor & Newton artist grade watercolours. So I'll be using my ink pens as well, so it's a bit of a pen and ink, as well as the watercolour. I do have a few of these different sort of makes of ink pens. This one is actually Artline drawing system. It's water based and it's water resistant. So that's something you need to look out for when choosing a good ink drawing pen. Something that's water resistant. So it doesn't sort of smudge and smear, it's permanent, so once it's down it doesn't mix with the watercolour, unless you want that sort of look. The size I'm using is 0.2, which I find quite a good size. I use that in most of my paintings when I want to include some lines here and there. So you get different different sizes. 0.2 is my sort of go-between. So it's either 0.2, I like 0.3 and 0.5. And then I do have a different set of pens which have a really sort of bold tip. So just including some of these cars, just drawing in, just having fun with the pen, just tightening up here and there, and just giving that nice bit of definition. Okay, time to try and paint the people. I find when painting people, the first thing I like to do is get the faces, hands, any sort of flesh that's showing. So I usually use a mix of yellow ochre and cadmium red, sort of vary the tones up, and that gives a nice sort of skin tone colour. And I think one of the important things to remember or to take note is just make sure that you mix enough. Depending on how many people you've got in the scene, you want enough mixture to just to cover all the flesh tones. So you can see how I did the legs on the first person. Just one stroke down and then another stroke. And I think I've got that quite well. So let me know what you think in the comments. It's not something that I'm used to painting a lot. It's something that I definitely am working on. But let me know what you think in the comments. Are figures in painting something that you struggle with yourself? Is it something that's quite a challenge? Or do you find it quite natural, quite easy to do? Drop us a comment. Also, if you do if you're enjoying this video, then please do give us a thumbs up. It does really help the channel to grow. Sometimes I do wish my camera would be more sort of accurate, I guess. When you look at the colours, the tones that I've used, it doesn't really show a true reflection of what it actually does look like. I wish you could see what I can see looking at the painting, but that's just the way things go. But it gives you an overall sort of idea of what I was trying to achieve. Again, let us know what you think in the comments section, and I do appreciate any sort of likes on the video. So just adding the final sort of stages here now, a few darks, you can see using pen and just a few final bits of darks with the pen. And then I think the final stage for this painting will be the opaque white, which I use my gouache, Winsor & Newton gouache. So this gives you the nice sort of clean whites that if you've missed or if you just want to add after, which is both the same. I think actually it's better to leave the white of the paper, but it's always there to use if you do sort of miss any highlights if you paint over those. So you can see there's little bits of trees popping through in the background just over the buildings. So I did use my sepia ink pens to do those, just fine lines, twigs and branches, and then I just added some paint to that just to give a bit more sort of tone and depth to the trees. So I did actually try using this I think it's called Signo white gel ink pen. I don't like the way it doesn't really, the ink doesn't flow very well on these pens. So I've resorted, you can see I'm using the white gouache now for writing, which is a bit of a challenge as well. Using my thinnest liner brush, well, my only liner brush, it's a size 2. It's quite difficult to get the letters, but just got to carry on and try and get those. And then going around the window frames, which are a white colour, so this gives a nice contrast and just makes the building sort of stand out a little bit more, gives a bit more interest as well, breaks up all those dark areas. So I'm pretty much coming to the close of this painting. I hope you've enjoyed this painting. Please do give me a thumbs up, give me a like, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, then please do consider subscribing. I do upload each and every week, so you're always welcome to subscribe. So just really just fiddling around now with the whites. There's things like alarm boxes on the walls and just things like that, which I'm doing. And then I'll be removing the tape, which is always my favourite part of the whole painting process. Just after I pop my signature in the bottom right hand corner. So this is where you just got to be careful. If you want to rip the tape off at a real sort of angle, you can see I'm pulling that off there. I do have problems every now and then with tearing the paper, but if you do pull it against the paper, then it usually is fine. So there we go. I hope you like this video. You can see my painting of New Mills, the village in Derbyshire. And there we have it, a complete painting with a clean border. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.